And we're going to make a new document. So we'll call it shape. And your name or your initials. We can keep with our letter size page, so width 8.5, height 11 inches. And sure, what the heck, we'll start with 2 artboards. Create. Now I should have been teaching you good habits from the beginning, layers wise. I'm not great with keeping myself organized on layers. So that's why I didn't start off like that, but we're gonna try to do that this time. So you should have your 2 artboards. And we're gonna do some geometric shapes. We're gonna use, there's tools created in Adobe to make all the geometric shapes. Any gun you want. They all live here under the rectangle tool. So if you go down, let's see, on the left side, underneath the T, there's a rectangle tool. And if you click on that, you will look, if you look down at the bottom of the tools, right now I have a black outline and a white fill. You can change those by double clicking on either parts of them, or you can change them up here in our specific menu bar. And you can click and drag out a rectangle. Woo! And there you have it. If you click and release, you'll get a dialog box. And so then you can do a specific, so say you know that you need like a, a 4x6 for something, or you need to do like a business card design, and so you're going to want to do like a the front and back, so maybe it's a 3x4 or 3x2. There you go. To make a square, you're going to hold Shift while you pull out. So make a couple rectangles, a couple squares. Remember, if you want to move them around, you'll have to go back to your selector tool, which is V. Oh. If you click on your fill, so that's the full square over here. It's on the top on the left side, and you get rid of the fill, so there's none. It will look the same, but if I click in the middle here, I'm not going to be able to move my rectangle because there's nothing there. So I have to pull it around from the outside. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you're like, I can't move it, you might not have a fill. If you want to change anything about the rectangles once you've made them, you want to change the size, you can just select them, pull them around. And these little circles near the edges are how you can round the corners. And as they get rounder and rounder, eventually it becomes an oval. If you want to round only one corner, if you want to start making funkier shapes, you can double click on the circle and just start rounding one corner. Whoa. All right, make, let's see. No, just kidding. All right, if you click and hold on the rectangle, next is rounded rectangle, although I just don't know why you'd use that because you can just round your rectangle regular, so I don't ever use that one. Ellipse tool is an oval. So if you click and drag, you can make an oval. If you want to make a circle, does anyone have a guess how to make a circle? Yes, beautiful. Hold shift. You can also click and release. Our dialog box will pop up, and you could do, 2 by 2, and that would be a circle if they're the same. All right, we're getting a little bit more complicated as we move down the menu. Polygon. Polygon means many sides, right? So if you click and release, you can choose how many sides you want. 3, of course, would be a triangle. You can go all the way up to whatever. I think you can go to like 1,000. Okay. And you can also round those corners the same way. When you're pulling out a shape, if you press the up and down arrows as you're pulling out, you can get more or fewer sides. And as we get more sides, what do we get closer to? Yes, a circle, you're right. Okay, open your layers window. So there's 2 ways of doing that. The shortcut icon is like 2 little papers like stacked on top of each other. There, you can also go to Windows and click Layers. And you can open that layer. And if you click through, as you click through the shapes, selecting them, you'll see a little blue square will appear on the one that's selected. So say I really wanted to put this like, I don't know what it is, hexagon, below this oval. I can do that a couple different ways, but my favorite way to do it is just to drag on the layers menu. So I just drag it down till it goes underneath. Still not? Oh. There we go. So if you ever want to rearrange where things are, you can do that. Another way of moving things is going to Object, Arrange, and Send Backwards, or send to Back would send it all the way to the back, the bottom of the layers. Our last shape tool, the flare tool, is silly. It's just like, I can't imagine like a real usage for it. I don't like it. You can play with it if you want. But the last one that I think is pretty cool is the star tool. And the star tool, if you click and release, just like all of them, no surprise, a dialog box pops up. So you can choose how many points you want. And then the difference between the radiuses, you can experiment with that, but if you have a really small radius for the first one, a really big one, you're going to have very long spindly legs. If there's not a big difference between the radiuses, you're going to have stubby legs. So make a couple stars. See if you... Whee! Remember to resize and maintain proportion. Hold Shift. If you want to duplicate things, you can hold Option and pull off. If you want to make more room for yourself to play around, you can add artboards with the artboard tool. We have 4 minutes, so let's say play around for 2 more minutes and then we'll save.